Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you are doing well. Let's discuss today's topic. Mainly here today's topic is about food security. It is definitely related to agriculture. But before beginning the new topic, let's recall what we have learned yesterday and let's complete some statistical data regarding yesterday we learned. In yesterday's topic, we have seen the contribution of agriculture, importance in national economy, in employment, as well as in output production. So we have seen that more than half of the total population of India still dependent on agriculture sector. More, agriculture is important to provide food to the people, which we are going to discuss today, as well as for export, for raw materials in industries, secondary sector, as well as it is important for tertiary sector too. But it is utmost important for the economy, but despite it, that value of agriculture sector that day by day decreased. So because of this, government taken the initiatives like ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, agriculture universities for research apart from it, as well as agriculture bank, rural bank. So those are initiatives taken by the government. More we have seen like animal husbandry, veterinary service, because agriculture is not only growing crops but animal rearing also, that including in the agriculture, as you know already about it. Now let's take a look on the table given. That is, let's check out the table. So India's growth of GDP and share of major sector in percentage. Let's check out it. So it is clear that the GDP growth rate is increasing over the years in the agriculture sector. Let me give you data first before discussing about it. So here there are different years, different year plans actually. Already I have discussed about the year plan before. So in 10th year plan, sorry, 10th 5-year plans, 5-year plans, development plans of 5 years. About 5 years development plan, earlier we have discussed. So here first data about the 10th 5-year plans, 2002 to 2007. 11th 5 years plan, that is 2007 to 2012, you can count 2002 to 2007, 10th 5-year plans, and 2007 to 2012, 11th 5-year plan. And here targeted, because in this textbook that published earlier, so data are given of target 1 and target 2, that is upcoming 5-year plans, that means 12 and 13, right? So because here data is issued by the government, planning commission of government. About 5-year plan, again let me tell you about 5-year plans in brief. Earlier I said about 5-year plans that initiated by the government after the independence for the development of economy. So in different phases, they follow different strategies, they give importance to different sectors, right, like industries, agriculture, education, health. So they plan for the 5 years, coming 5 years, and they initiate a project and they follow those plans for development of the nation, right? There is a proper strategy of 5-year plan, right? And for this 5-year plans, for implementation, government also that establish a dedicated commission, dedicated part of government, that is Planning Commission of India, and chairperson of Planning Commission of India that remains, that Prime Minister of India, contemporary Prime Minister of India is chairperson of 5-year plan. So present day Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Modi is the chairperson of Planning Commission. Alright, so this is about planning 5-year plan. And in 2011, that this Planning Commission of India issued reports. So on the basis of those reports that I am going to discuss about the share of agriculture and different sectors in the GDP. Okay, so let's talk about agriculture sector. In 10th-year plan, 1.7%. Here showing the growth of GDP. 1.7% GDP growth increase from the agriculture sector in 10th 5-year plan, which was 3.2 in 11th 5-year plan. Before it was 1.7, that increased to 3.2, and target was 4 and 4.2% in the coming year plan respectively. This data that on the basis of 2011. Okay, now industries. You will know more if you check out the table showing that industries 8.3% growth rate of industrial sector. Secondary sector was 8.3, decrease in 2007 to 2012 7.2. The government had planned to increase it 9.6 to 10. Service sector, tertiary sector was 9.0. In 11 it was 10, and in coming means 2012 to 17. In 12th year plan, government had planned to increase it by 10%. Two targets decided. Now, total GDP growth rate. Here we are not talking about GDP. GDP earlier we have seen the sum of total production of each sector, value actually. The value, right? So we count the value. So the total value of each sector is called GDP of particular year. So here we are counting average GDP of 5 years. So average GDP of 5 years in 10th year plan, that means average GDP of 2007 to 2012. So in this 5-year plan, GDP growth rate was 7.2. In 11th year 5-year plan, GDP growth rate was 8.2, and targeted growth rate in 2012 to 17 was, first target was 9, second target was 9.5. Now let's talk about the present GDP that issued by the government of India, that's showing negative. That means decrease instead of growth, that fallen down. So it's about 26% down. That is actually a matter of concern. Alright, so this is all for your information, for your knowledge, as well as for your lesson. So here agriculture sector is comparatively poor, as we can see that. So today Indian farmers are facing big challenges. We have lots of issues. And what are the major challenges? So challenges from international competition. And our government is going ahead with the reduction of public investment in agriculture sector, particularly in irrigation, in power, in rural roads, market and mechanization. Government actually nowadays not focusing on agriculture. This is the reason why agricultural growth rate is lesser compared to secondary and tertiary sector. Though it is important to us, because government give importance to mainly now industrialization, right? And this decline that agriculture sector. Challenges like international competition. Before we were self-sufficient, we had our own food grains. We didn't need to import wheat or rice. Even we were exported that time. Now we need to import wheat and rice in India. So that is also that question mark on the government's policy. Being a citizen, I can question mark on the government's policy regarding it. That is our fundamental rights. So subsidy on fertilizer is decreased and leading to increase in the cost of production. Government before provided that fertilizers, pesticides on subsidiary rate. So farmers, even small farmers, were able to use it. Now the subsidy decreased. So price of that fertilizers, of course, increased. So now difficult to buy for those small farmers. Moreover, reduction in import duties on agriculture products have proved detrimental to the agriculture in the country. uh, import duties, about those duties and competition, international competition, we will learn in detail in the chapter globalization in economics. Alright, so import duties means taxes on agriculture products government decrease. So of course now those imported grains, imported agriculture products became cheaper in India. So difficult for Indian products to survive against those cheaper imported products. More farmers are withdrawing their investment from agriculture, causing downfall in the employment in agriculture. So they are not able to get enough price. Many times crops fail. Lots of issues are behind it. So they are not interested to invest more in agriculture. And there is a question here: why are farmers committing suicide in several states in the country? Many times we read the news, we heard the news that means farmers committed suicide with their family. Why so? Why they have to do it? Do you think that they just don't like to live or some other things? No, that most of the people love their lives. But farmers have to commit the suicide many times along with their families. Why? Main reason, in short, those people actually stuck in the grasp of debt, vicious cycle of debt. Generally, farmers are small; they don't have enough capital to invest. So sometimes they take a loan, and mainly from the local landlords, right? Because they are not able to get loans from the banks, so they have to take loans from the local landlords, and with the higher interest rate. And when crops fail, or many times farmers are not able to get a fair price of their crops. Sometimes they just throw the crops, they don't want to sell because transportation cost sometimes higher than the rate they get of their own crops. So they sometimes they just have this dispose their crops. So they have to pay their debts, and sometimes total earning of a particular year of that cultivation, agriculture, lesser than the debt they have to pay. So day by day that interest increase. What to do? So ultimately, when those farmers lose their hopes, they commit suicide. Actually, that should not do that. But sometimes, if we put ourselves on their situation, if we read there, because many articles I read of different people regarding this farmer suicide, because one of the burning issues in our country, because because of farmers that we are able to get food, and their situation is like that. No, so their condition is that really worse because of all those together, like competition, less price of their agriculture products, unable to get loan from the banks, they have to pay that higher interest rate, right? Other burdens, as well as education of their children, health, lots of things. When the situation becomes unbearable, they take last. I am against it. No one should commit suicide, because as human beings we have lots of ways to get out of any problem, any situation. We are powerful enough, right? But not all people are strong enough to face the situations. They take such kind of decision. Alright, this is some emotional thing. At the same time, we are here talking about economy. So here we have seen that the contribution of agriculture in national economy, employment and output. Alright. Now let's discuss about one of the most important things, because I just mentioned that farmers are those who provide us food. So let's talk about food security, because food security, which is directly connected with the agriculture. About food security in detail, I will discuss in the next video, because if I begin discussing here, it will be longer. My plan to discuss it in this video only, but it will be too longer, so I decide discuss in the next video. But let me give you a brief description about the food security. What is food security? We have learned about food security in 9th standard. So food security means accessibility, availability and affordability of food to every citizen in the country. Everyone. So here accessibility, food accessible to everyone, rich, poor, no matter what caste or what gender, whatever, right? Second, availability of food everywhere, no matter metro city or small cities or even isolated region in the, no matter like in the Ladakh or forest of Assam, Nagaland and Meghalaya, everywhere. That is availability of food. And affordability, yes, that is one of the most important things. Even food available, accessible, available in shop, you can go to the shop for the purchase that food. But if you don't have money, then those all things useless, right? You want to buy grains, like you want to buy wheat, but wheat available at 30 rupees kilo, rice available that is 100 rupees per kilo, but you don't have enough money to buy, so that is useless. So the third important, that is affordability. So everyone can afford it. As you know that food is basic need and every citizen of the country should have access to food, which provide minimum nutritional level. If any segment of our population does not have that access, that segment suffer from lack of food security that we know. So this is about the food security. Now food security and agriculture both combine together their relation, because they are actually connected. So about this food security, with the keep in mind about the agriculture sector, we will discuss in the next video. So stay tuned.